WSSU Ram Nation, we are this close, okay, maybe this close, to getting a new basketball arena. I mean, a multi-purpose center, health and wellness multi-purpose center. I'm going to talk to you guys about that right after this intro. What's going on, everybody? It's SJG and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and whether you're new or old, please go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate this community that we have built in this short amount of time. We're now over 500 subscribers, so shout out to y'all. Definitely appreciate that for sure. We want to try to get to 1,000 by the time that the football season kicks off. And so continue to build and monetize this thing so that I can help try to get some folks on here to create some content beyond myself. But let's go ahead and talk about the big news at hand. So last week was a big week. The first week of April was the start of the new quarter. We all know that. But for WSSU alumni, it was big as well. There was a Zoom that was held from the Office of Alumni Engagement that talked about a lot of different things. We are getting a School of Business back, and they are going to push to be accredited. So shout out to them. I love that for all the alumni of the business school, and also for the future WSSU Rams who are going to come through and are going to be able to major in business from an accredited business school. Love that. There was so much more information that was on there, but shout out to Thisha Woodley and her folks, Titus Lee as well, the new provost, for putting out some really good information that folks definitely wanted to hear. And so we got that information, and then later in the week, the National Alumni Association had their meeting as well over in Winston-Salem. Friday night they had a boots on the ground event. It was cool. I don't have any boots, but I went, showed up to show some support. And then the next day they had the NAA meeting. Now this is the first full NAA meeting I went to, and it was full. It went for quite a while, but a lot of important work was done. A lot of passionate people about Winston-Salem State University. Shout out to Reginald McCaskill, the president of the NAA, and his folks who are really passionate about fundraising for students and supporting our university in the way that we can. I loved it. It was great. So many people who are talented and passionate about WSSU. It was great. The only thing that could have made it better is if there would have been some more people there with a 2 in front of their graduation year. Yeah, I'm going to say that. I'm going to be that guy. There was only a handful of us there, and a lot of those are way more experienced than I, and they've been doing the work for years. I'm a newcomer to it, but I feel like I'm on here giving my opinions all the time, and I need to be as informed as possible. So I went to it. It was great, and hopefully we can get some more folks, again, with the 2 in front of their graduation years to be involved as well. We always, talk about alumni and we try to break ourselves off, but at the end of the day, we are still one. We are still one alumni group in many ways. And the more of us that show up, the bigger voice that we have. And so I'm just going to continue to encourage people as I go myself to, really make sure that their voice is heard. I know a lot of us, we have children. We all have lives. I mean, let's be real. Dreamville was last week. I ain't go, but a lot of y'all was there. And so we've got a lot of things going on, but I think it's very important to remember to support WSSU and be involved, not just at homecoming or a basketball game or wearing a shirt, but to really do it. So shout out to everybody that was there. Anyway, back to the arena. I got off on that tangent. But before I get to the arena, because then there was a lot of things that went on beyond that, and I want this channel to be more than just basketball, football, sports stuff. So an important presentation was given by Chancellor Brown. She was amazing. As always, she presented some renderings of the new K.R. Williams. And, ooh, man, look, when I tell you that new K.R. Williams, man, that thing looked like it's something out futuristic. But we'll see, when everything is done and completed. But amazing. They've actually, if you go over to the campus, K.R. Williams is blocked off as well as Hauser because they're redoing all of that. So a lot of excitement there in terms of what's going on there. So then also she went ahead and updated us on athletics. And so one of the things she talked about was this new Senate bill, Senate Bill 534. It has a provision that would provide Winston-Salem State University with $112,500,000 for a new health, physical education, and recreation center. And when this news first came up and I heard it, I was like, that sounds like a new gymnasium. And but I wanted to be sure, and thankfully Chancellor Brown was very good and transparent. She said that it would potentially be the new Gain Center. Gain Center 2.0, I think is what she said, or maybe that's how I rectified it in my head. Either way, that is what is on the table now. It hasn't been approved yet, so we got to go through that stage to get through approval. It's got to get through the NC legislature, so hopefully we'll have enough energy behind it to make it happen. But this would be huge for a lot of reasons. The current arena that we have, Gain Center, it's been around since 1978, right? So nearly 50 years. We know it doesn't have air conditioning, so it is it doesn't have a single seat in it. It's all benches, all bleachers, and it's not comfortable. Especially as you're getting older, it's definitely not comfortable. It's definitely not the most friendly place. But despite that, we have one of the best basketball fan bases in HBCU and in Division II, and so it makes sense that if we could get a bigger facility, because the current facility sits less than 3,000, much less than 3,000, and if you remember, at a certain time we had over 6,000 students, so everybody's paying student fees. They should be able to get in, or at least have a good chance to get in, but right now only half of them can get in, and that doesn't leave any opportunity for alumni or supporters who want to come and support in person. Again, this is Division II basketball, but we have a history of great basketball. And I know a couple years ago, being in HBCU sports, I know I always talk about how to get our fandom on our schools on par with the Power 5 schools that we love. And I thought about it, a lot of folks grow up watching UNC and Duke on TV, and then there's another level where some kids actually get a chance to go to those games growing up, and so they are diehards by the time they get to those schools, or even if they never get to those schools. Whereas with our HBCUs, again, at a place like Winston, you bring if you're an alumnus, you're hoping that you can get in, much less bring a kid with you to really give them that experience as well. And that's why we've had to rent out the Joel and things like that. And of course, when I was in school, during the Division I attempt that I talked about in this video, we played a lot of our games in the Joel or at the Annex. And it even goes back to even further when we had Whitaker as our gym. We would have to go to the old Coliseum for most of our big games. So, one of the things that's hindered WSSU athletically is our lack of ownership of Bowman Gray Stadium, which is a whole nother situation, but also having a small gym where we're not able to take advantage of our student population, of our strong alumni base, and our local support without having to go rent something out. So this would be major, not only just for basketball, but also, like you see, we're having probates in there now, or whatever they're actually calling them. We're having probates in there now, and I think another big thing that's underrated is the opportunity to be able to have our graduation on campus in an air-conditioned space. Now, a couple years ago, they did have graduations on campus, and those were amazing. It was great to see folks being able to celebrate with their people on campus, this place that's been so special to them. But we also had it outside, and it was hot. Even though it was in the morning, it was hot. So this would be a great, amazing opportunity there as well for other events. If you want to think about what this could be, I would advise you to go check out the Virginia State University Multi-Purpose Center. That, in my mind's eye, is something that I've wanted for WSSU since I saw it the first time. It looks like a college athletic. It looks like something that says high-level college sports. Inside, it's got a Hall of Fame, which we definitely need. It's got classroom space too. That's how you get all this stuff, right? Because they're not just going to buy sports arenas for schools at all. But then also it has boxes to where the president or other folks can be entertaining, potential donors or, dignitaries. So there's so much that you can do with the multi-purpose center. There's so much that it would add to WSSU overall, not just on the basketball court or in the basketball programs, but as a school as well. I know we just purchased some land out, a little ways away from the school. So I'm excited about the possibilities. It's really important. And I just think one thing that I noticed was, again, a couple years ago when the basketball program started rebuilding again under Coach Hill, there was talk about how we needed a new arena. There was talk online about it, and word got up to leadership, and a joke was made about the potential, who's going to sign a $100 million check. And, I felt that was dismissive then, and I felt that really showed a lack of vision. So now we've got a new leader in Chancellor Brown. I'm excited about what she's been doing. I like her approach, and I'm excited to see what she's going to continue to do. But it just shows you the difference in the change in leadership and how much leadership matters. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what happens with this. Right now, we were told we don't need to contact our authorities just yet. Still got a little bit ways before we get there, but we will definitely be locked and loaded to do what we have to do there. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how many seats you think it realistically should have. Right now, our enrollment is under 5,000. I think it's 4,300, 4,400, something like that. But again, we've been up to as many as 6,000. And personally, I believe that we need to, in this arena, account for potential growth of our student body, and also to capitalize on our alumni and supporters who would be able to bring, again, their family and friends there. That's going to take a concentrated marketing effort and a change in the way we operate business-wise. But I think in the long haul, it would definitely be worth it. And lastly, and then I'll make another video on the football schedule. Lastly, we are still waiting on the announcement of our new head basketball coach for the women's program. Again, Coach LaTanya Lamont announced late January that she was going to be stepping down at the end of the year and retiring. She has transitioned out of the coach's office, and so right now we are at a coaching. We're waiting. From my understanding, the interview process is taking place now, and there should be someone in place soon. But at this point, we're talking April 9th, 3:12 p.m. when I'm recording this. We've known for 2 full months that we had to replace her, if not longer. And so I'm hoping that this goes smoothly and quickly. We saw with what happened with Coach Hill last year, how important timing is in terms of basketball coaching and putting together a team. Obviously Coach Hill left in June, and that was kind of out of the blue. So, that set us back quite a bit in our men's basketball program, where our women's basketball program had a head start knowing that Coach Lamont was going to be retiring. And, other people, other hirings and firings have happened. Virginia State now has a opening as well. So I know their new athletic director, Tiffany Dawn Sykes, I know she's going to be on it, getting her hire together. And again, this is another important hire for us, which also brings me back to leadership and, what's going to happen with the future of our athletic program. Didn't get a chance to ask this question, but, the elephant in the room is that our director of athletics, Etienne Thomas, her contract is up at the end of this year. And the head football coach, Robert Massey, his contract is up as well. Again, we're having to, those are, we're still 8 months away from that, roughly a little less than 8 months away from that. But these are important decisions that are going to have to be made. Athletic director is really important to have that in place. So, is A.D. Thomas going to be extended? Is she going to be here for the long haul? We're going to hear something on that soon. What's going to happen there? Because, again, we're having to make these type of decisions right now. I'm bringing in a new coach. If I'm a new coach, I'm going to wonder, okay, is this my AD? Is this who I'll be working under? So Athletics is just part of the huge undertaking of WSSU, and we have to kind of be proactive, because we definitely want to make sure that we are at the forefront, and we're getting our time to get the best candidates for everything that we have going on, and just make sure that we're pushing forward with the eye forward, because the last thing we want to do is kind of get caught in a situation where we're behind the eight ball. We've seen it happen way too many times previously in the previous administration, and I'm hopeful that we won't see that happen again with this administration, and I feel like we won't, but time remains to tell that. All right, guys, I said I was going to make this one quick. Clearly, I don't do anything quick. I appreciate everybody for listening to this. Thank you guys so much. Please hit that like button. Let me know how many seats you think we need in the arena. Let me know who you think should be our new head basketball coach for the women. Talk to me really quick, and we will catch you guys on the next one.